Yo, Alec here, and you know what? There's a really funny fact about freelancing. Most freelancers I've seen were actually introverts. It's really rare that you find extrovert freelancers in my experience. And what I've seen with most people is when they get to their first client meetings, they're all stressed out. They're all stressed out about how the call is going to happen or how the meeting in person is going to happen. And for me, it was really tough. I remember spending like an hour or two, like just preparing myself for my meeting. I remember like just being stressed out of my mind while driving to the car to meet that person. And also, same thing when I called my first clients. I had to prime myself up for like 15 minutes, review my notes a couple of times before I could get the courage to just make the fucking phone call. But the truth is, the biggest mistake you can make when you're starting out when it comes to interviews is taking it too seriously. The truth is, it's really not as hard as it seems. And the reason you're struggling with it at first, the reason it feels so big is probably just because you've never done it. You know, I'm an introvert too, and I know talking to new people is stressful. And what often happens is that before you're getting to talk with that person, you're making all these scenarios in your mind. You're thinking, hey, what if they're disrespectful? What if they see that I'm just a beginner? What if they don't like me? What if they start being angry? Truth is, that doesn't really happen. In my experience, clients are always very fucking respectful. I think I've had like one client who's been kind of a dick, but that's out of like 4 years of being a freelancer or something. So just try to stay calm. You need to understand that client meetings are not really like interviews to get a job. You don't need to work hard on your pitch. You don't need to sell yourself so hard. The truth is, clients are not here to see whether or not you're legit, whether or not you're really good. Most of the time, they know that you're really good because otherwise they would not have set up the call or meeting with you. After that, the meeting is just to see if you really understand their problems and what you are going to be offering them is really the good solution for them. Because what you need to understand about buying websites is that buying websites is kind of like buying a used car. When you don't know cars, when you don't know all the metrics that you need to see to make sure that the used car is not going to break on you in like 5 months, it's stressful. You look at all these things and you don't understand them. And cars, just like websites, are big investments. It's like how much money you think you could lose if you choose the wrong car. How much could it cost you more in pieces, repair over time, or even maybe gas if you choose the wrong car instead of the right one? It could be a difference of many hundreds or thousands of dollars in your pocket in the next couple of years. And it's the same thing with website. Most clients, like, they're business owners or business leaders that don't know much about websites. They're not building websites. So when they hear developers talking, most of what we're talking is just fucking gibberish to them. It sounds like Chinese that they don't understand. And what's really stressing them about buying a website is that, hey, they want to make sure that they don't buy the wrong website because they don't want to spend more money over the long term than they should be. And they want to get the right solution for them. And they're afraid that people like you will take advantage of them and sell them the wrong solution so that they can make more money. It happens. It happens. Like, let's face it, you're going to make a lot more money if you build a shopping thing on their website and you build like a couple of extra things that they don't really need, or that you use a certain technology instead of another. And since they don't know it, they know that you can find arguments that are going to sway them toward getting the good price. So most of your meetings are not going to be about showing that you're an expert. It's about showing that you're trustworthy, showing that you understand them, and taking the time to actually understand their needs so you can deliver them what they need and not just what you want to sell them to make the most money. Because that's what they're afraid about. You're not there to just lead them along a sales process. You're there to let them speak. Again, the biggest mistakes you're going to make are if you're trying too hard. You're trying too hard to impress them, trying too hard to show them that your solution is good. And when you do that, you don't let them speak. You don't hear them. You don't take the time to really understand their needs. And they see that. They see you don't care about them. They see that you're not really taking the time to understand them. What you need to do instead is let them speak. Ask them questions, understand their situation, understand what kind of website they need, understand how they're using their website. you shouldn't start your meeting with already a pitch in mind. You should be, and a quote with you to give them. You should be building that after the meeting. One of the biggest mistakes you can make is just choose a solution for them before you really understand them. A lot of freelancers are going to do that. They're going to go see a customer and assume that they probably need a certain thing, assume that they probably want a certain thing, assume that their budget is kind of like a certain number. And the problem with that is that every assumption you make that is wrong, every time you say, hey, you probably have a budget of X, so we found this solution for you. Hey, you probably want that type of website, so here's what I could do for you. The problem is, if you're wrong, which is very likely to happen at least at some points in your pitch, the client is going to be like, hey, he doesn't really understand me. He's going to lose trust in you. The clients are going to lose trust in you. And clients are not looking for the best freelancer to do the job. They're not necessarily looking for the cheapest in the moment, because they understand that the website is going to cost them more along the years. So the big key is to make sure that they see that you are the most trustworthy guy that cares about them over the long run and is not just going to take them to make a quick buck. With that said, that doesn't mean that you should not approach your client meetings prepared and with some solutions to offer them. Whenever you're in a meeting and you don't look like you know what you're about to say, you don't look like you know what you're talking about, that's when people lose trust in you. Like, how can they trust you if you don't even trust yourself? You need to understand the situation well enough so that, hey, when you're in the meeting, you're like, hey, I saw this problem on your website. Here's the solutions that we have to fix it. The mistake you can make here is that, hey, I think you're that type of business owner, so this is the type of solution that is for you. Instead, you should say, hey, we have these solutions. Let's discuss together to see what your problem needs are so that we can figure out which one of these suits you best. But you need to do your homework before. You need to go check their website. You need to go check all the problems they have. Do they have SEO problems? Do they have problems in their layout? Are there things that are not clear on the mobile version? Whatever you can see, spot the problems. Show them the problems that you've seen. And show them that you're not just here to sell them like they're a number. You're here to help them with their current problems, and that you cared enough to go check their website. And when you're going to offer your solutions, you know some solutions are better than others. Honestly, if you the best way to get a client to believe in your solution is to say it in a way that's confident and that looks like you believe in the solutions you're offering. And honestly, I've never seen a better way to show that you believe in a solution when saying that solution than actually believing that the solution you're offering works. Because if you believe that what you're offering works, it's going to show in the way you speak that you believe in it. If you don't believe in it, it's going to show in the way you say it that you don't truly believe it. You're not going to be as confident. You're not going to be as sharp. Your eye contact is going to be different. You can try to fake believing in a solution, but the reality is it's going to be harder, and some clients are going to pick up on that. You should never try to give them a solution that pays you more money, but that you know is not good for them. It's going to fucking ruin the way you speak. They're going to see it. They're going to lose trust in you. So you're going to have to do some preparation before you get started on the meeting. Check their website, check their problems, and check the solutions that are they're potentially the best for them. Consider not just if it's, hey, we could make your website the most amazingly possible, but it would cost money. Consider the money it can cost too. Consider this, because most businesses, especially now in 2010 and 21, after the crazy years that we've just been through, they're very money conscious. They're very worried about spending too much money. And if you can show them, hey, we have good solutions, they're not necessarily the best, but are really good, would save you, would give us the results that you're looking for, but would cost less money, offer them. You know deep down that this is probably best for them. You know deep down, if you were that business owner, this is what you'd want. So offer them that. See that through that lens. Don't see it through the lens of, hey, I'm an entrepreneur, I want to make as much money as possible. Because the truth is, if that's what you're trying to do, you will not make as much money as you can, because people are going to trust you less when you're going to talk, you're going to be less confident, and you're going to lose money as a result. The best way to make money, get clients, and not struggle to get your clients, is to actually offer them the true best solution that you could. And that all comes from analyzing their website, analyzing their needs, talking to them, hearing them, letting them speak through the fucking meeting. And oftentimes what happens is I don't give them my pitch in the meeting. Oftentimes I'm just like, hey, now that I understand your needs, I'm gonna go check on my end at my office what could be done for you, and I'm gonna call you back in a couple of days, and I'm gonna show you what's the best solution I could find for you. Like, there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, right now I don't know what's the best solution for you. I thought you might have different needs, but talking to you, I've realized that what I'm offering you is not exactly what you need, so I'm going to go check and come back with you with the best cost-sensitive solution that I know. You're not here to necessarily close them there, because you'll never get in the first phone call or meeting and like at the end be like, okay, so here's my PayPal account, send me that amount of money and get started. No, it always takes time. You'll always have to send a quote afterward. You're always going to have to wait for them to check it, make sure it's exactly what they need, because these are big expenses. Websites are costly and people take their time buying them. So your meeting is not there so you can sell your thing. It's there so you can build a relationship of trust with your customers, and you do that by being human, showing understanding, listening to them. So don't be stressed out about your fucking first meetings. You're not there to sell. You're just there to be human, create a connection, and trust me, you don't need to be perfect to be able to be successful. It's okay to say to your clients, hey, I'm not sure about this. It's okay if you stumble up while explaining something. You can explain it again. They're not there to evaluate if you're the best freelancers. They're there to evaluate if you're the freelancer that's really going to care about them and not sell them the wrong solution so they can make more money. So just do that, be human, and you should get clients pretty easily. And never forget, when you're having client meetings, the clients have agreed to see you. They're willing to see you. They respect you. They respect your skill at least enough so that they want to meet you and consider you as a good solution. If you've, it's really night and day, the difference from getting a client meeting and getting a job interview. Job interviews, they're looking at you from up high and honestly, they have shitty attitudes most of the time. But client meetings, they're like, okay, thank God you're here. I hope you have the good solution. They respect you. They admire your skill. Don't be stressed out about it. You'll see it's a lot easier than you think and a lot less painful. For me, after already a couple of client meetings, I think after my 2 first client meetings, I realized it was actually really cool to do and really interesting. And, all you're doing is sharing. All you're doing is just talking with people, understanding their business, understanding their problems, and just sharing how you could help them and hopefully help them in the future. It's really cool building relationships with business people, seeing how they see the world. They're all really different people from most employees. They have to be, because hey, they're living a very different life. They have very different responsibilities. And if you treat a business like you treat a job, you oftentimes have problems because of it. And you'll be surprised the kind of relationship that you can build with your clients. My previous partner, a lot of his clients, he has really good relationships with them. He met his girlfriend through client meetings. And he met one of his best friend with which he always goes fishing through client meetings. Your clients are people. You might meet your best friends there, and these phone calls are not only not stressful, they're often really fun. So yeah, stop worrying about it. It's a lot easier than you think.